Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to talk about my decision to go with Herzig for the smile procedure and why. Before making this decision, I went back and forth a lot between Lasik and smile, and also between the different laser eye surgery places such as Herzig and TLC. So I did do quite a bit of research between the three different laser eye surgery clinics in Toronto, and I was having a really hard time deciding who to go with. The things that I looked at were the reputation of the clinic, the experience of the surgeons, the price, and also the experiences that my friends had. In this video, I am going to talk about the three different laser eye surgery in Toronto, which is Bochner, Herzig, and TLC, which is ultimately the three different clinics that I was interested in. I didn't go to Lasik MD because it was significantly cheaper than the other clinics, and I didn't really trust that for my eyes. And also I had friends who know people who went to Lasik MD and they didn't really have the best results, and they had to get correction. So I'm going to walk you through my thought process and my experiences, and hopefully this will help those out there who are currently in the same situation that I was a couple months back. As mentioned, the three different clinics I went to do a consultation at is Bochner, TLC, and Herzig. And the reason why I chose these three clinics is because all of these were recommended by my optometrist, and my optometrist never mentioned Lasik MD, so that was something that I did not even consider at all. I do have to stress that in the end, it is who you feel the most comfortable with going, because I know friends and families who went to any of these three clinics and they were all very happy and satisfied. So the first place that I went to get a consultation at is Bochner, because the consultation office was a lot closer to where I live. I originally thought I was going to go with Bochner just because it was deemed as more reputable and it has been around here for the longest, and the surgeons there have been 3 generations of family or something like that. And I searched them up, good reviews, and I originally wanted to go with Dr. Raymond Stein because looking at his reviews on Rate MD, he got really good reviews. I believe it was 4.3 out of 5. There were no bad comments about it. The only bad comments that I saw was the clinic being very unprofessional, or they weren't really responsive. They offer PRK and custom LASIK, which I am a candidate for. What I realized about Dr. Raymond Stein is that he probably had the most reviews on Rate MD than the other surgeons that I was looking at. He had around 300 reviews, and they were, for most part, most of them were really good. I just feel like because Bochner has been around for the longest, most people just went to Bochner. So with Bochner, I didn't really get any good discounts or deals, and I made a video about how you can get discounts and deals from the 3 different clinics, so I'll put them in the description box below. But one of the reasons why I didn't really go with Bochner was because there wasn't any good deals, and I was starting to feel like I was overpaying something for the same technology that is out there. People are also getting the same service for a discounted price, and the surgeons at other clinics are also reputable and good. So why am I paying more for something just because it has, people think that it is more reputable? So I felt like I was getting ripped off if I were to just go with Bochner because of that reason. One thing that did kind of rub me off the wrong way was that when I was at the consultation at Bochner, I asked the lady if there were any discounts. For example, TLC was offering $500 off, and I was wondering if they have anything like that. And she made this comment, oh, is that the only thing that, you care about? And she made it seem like this was the only factor that I'm taking into consideration. That kind of rubbed me off in the wrong way because it felt kind of aggressive and it felt really rude. And the answer is no, I'm not. But there are other clinics out there that are getting good results. People are happy with it. They charge less. I haven't heard any bad things about it from my friends and family who went there. So what makes Bochner so much better than these other clinics? And why would I not try to get a good deal out of this? Because this is really expensive. So Obviously, I would want the best and at a good value too. I'm not just gonna overpay for something just cause you say it's better. And I was just not happy with her response at all. Especially in the end, there is no real proof that Bochner is better, because people are also walking out there with their eyes done from TLC and Herzig with fabulous results and are super happy. And it didn't pay as much as they had to if they went to Bochner. One thing that also kind of turned me off from Bochner was they tried really hard to sell me into getting my eyes done with them. And even after I said I'll think about it, she was still calling me, sending me emails, and I didn't feel like I was getting that pressure from the other clinics. I went to get consultation at TLC and Herzig, and I didn't get that same feeling. I didn't feel like I was being pressured into having to go with them. But I did feel like that with Bochner, which is really surprising to me, because being such a big and reputable laser eye surgery place, I didn't think that the need to push for sales was that important. The second place that I went to is TLC, and this clinic, they offer the same procedures, LASIK and PRK, same as Bochner, and the price is pretty much the same as well. They do offer more of a discount. I mentioned in my video how to save money on your laser eye surgery, which is in the comment section below, so check that out if you want to know how you can save money on your laser eye surgery. Basically, I really want to go with TLC because I know more people who went to TLC than Bochner and had great results, very happy with it, didn't have to pay as much as they did when they went to Bochner. I was pretty convinced that I was going to go with TLC. I had a friend who her eyes done at TLC with Dr. David Rootman, and I did some research on him. He works at U of T, and he did a lot of research, and it seems like he works at TLC and does laser eye surgery as a part-time thing, which is totally fine because he had pretty good reviews, and a couple of my friends went with him and they were very happy. So naturally, I really wanted to go with him. But because my schedule didn't work out, I was given a different surgeon. His name was Dr. Zale Mednek, and I was a little bit wary about going with him because I couldn't find anything about him on Rate MD. There were no reviews except for one review on this other website that is not really popular, about how halfway through the cataract surgery he stopped because he didn't know how to do it and just told the patient to find a different surgeon. So right off the bat, I was very uncomfortable with this surgeon, and he may be really good. I don't know. I haven't really seen a lot of reviews, and I think he's only done over 1,000 surgeries, whereas the other surgeons that I looked up on did over 60,000 surgeries. So not only could I not find him on Rate MD or any reviews at all, I found that he have a podcast, and he was on the cast of Survivor, and I think he is an aspiring actor, which a lot worried, which makes me feel even more worried because I feel like maybe this LASIK thing is just his side gig to make some extra money, but it's not his #1 priority. So with that, I immediately canceled my appointment and had to think about it because there was no way I was going to put my eyes in the hands of someone I'm not comfortable with. For those out there who had the surgery done with him, what are your experiences? What was it like? Was it good? Maybe he is a really good surgeon. Just not enough evidence for me to go by. Not to say that he isn't a good surgeon, and obviously technology is the same, but what if something does go wrong in a surgery? You want to have an experienced surgeon who knows how to handle difficult situations, because I think 90% of the time surgeries do go well, but they are there for you when things don't go well, and that is when the experience of the surgeon really matters. And you only have one pair of eyes. Why would you risk that? The last place I went to is Herzig, and I wasn't exactly convinced that I was going to go with them eventually, but I just want to have a third opinion on what is best for my eyes. They also offered a smile procedure, which they didn't offer at the other clinics, and I was really curious to know more about them. I did also ask about why they didn't offer Smile at TLC and Bochner, and they said that there's no real evidence that Smile is better, and they don't want to offer it at their clinic, not knowing if it is actually better. And once they know that it is better and it does offer good results, then they will implement it into their clinics. So that's what Bochner and TLC said. So who knows if that is true. I was also convinced that custom LASIK is better than Smile, because custom LASIK, instead of cutting all of the cornea to reshape your eyes, they're only cutting off certain sections of the eyes that needs it to be, which is why it's called custom LASIK, or at least that's how I've been taught. So I've been told by TLC and Bochner that this is actually better than the other procedures out there, which I did my research, and yes, it is true, they do that, which is good. And Smile doesn't take in consideration about just cutting certain sections of the cornea, but they do leave the cornea intact because they're not cutting the whole entire flap. What I like when I was at Herzig was I actually got a chance to talk to the surgeon during my consultation, whereas at TLC and Bochner, I did not get to do that at all. So I did feel like there was a sense of ease and comfort knowing that I'm talking to a surgeon who knows what they're doing, and any questions I have is being answered by the surgeon directly himself. So I did ask him about this custom LASIK, about cutting certain flaps, and why is Smile better. Dr. Madabmer, I don't know if I'm saying it right, he was the one that was at my consultation at that time, was telling me because my eye degree is very strong, I am around -7, and he said that because the degree of my eye is so strong, which is around -7, it didn't even matter whether it be custom or not, because I'm cutting off so much of it away anyway that it's like pointless to really go custom. And with Smile, is leaving it intact, and if there are any more touch-up that needs to be done, it could be done with PRK. But if I were to go with the LASIK procedure, then I probably won't be able to do any of that at all. So I thought that was pretty interesting, and you know, I was still very unconvinced, well, a little bit convinced, but I wasn't too sure myself. So I had to do a little bit more research on my own. Upon further research, it is really hard to say whether one is really better than the other or not, because there's so many reports out there when I was reading things online that said that they're both the same, there's really no difference. Or I'll read another report saying, you know, there is some difference, but really minor differences. And not being in med myself, I really don't know who to really believe. So but one thing that I really did like about Smile is that it is hard to dislocate the flap. As someone who rubs her eyes a lot and my eyes are always itchy, it feels a little bit more reassuring to know that my flap is intact and that I won't have any issues with it like dislodging if I rub my eyes or anything like that, even though you're not supposed to. One thing that they also said is with Smile, you have less dry eyes, and I think I'm somebody that, you know, I'm really sensitive to a lot of things. So even if there's a higher chance that I will reduce dry eyes, I think I will take it. So, you know, along with a lot of other factors, and they gave me $400 off. So, you know, that's more discount than Bochner gave me. I was very happy with the surgeons that they offer as well. I did some research into both Herzig and Dr. Madabmer, and they are both, you know, have really good reviews. They won awards. One thing that I asked the surgeons, and I asked Dr. Madabmer, was, so other clinics don't offer Smile because they said it's not that good. Like, why do you think it is better than the typical LASIK procedure? Explain the amount of money and effort that it takes to incorporate this new procedure into the clinic. It's not cheap. And you also have to have the right surgeons to perform this procedure as well. So you need someone who is really, really skilled to do this procedure. So that's why a lot of other clinics don't want to do this procedure, because they have to invest a lot of money into this. So that was something that I liked about Herzig, is that they're up to date with the latest technology. And I do trust in the skills of both surgeons at Herzig, just because of the credentials that they have. And if I were to be told to do smile with other surgeons, like especially the ones from TLC, I would definitely not trust them at all. One thing to note is that for these 3 different clinics is that they all offer lifetime warranty. And I also want to make a note that for Lasik MD, it is lifetime warranty only if you take an eye exam every year. Most insurance only covers an eye exam every 2 years. So that means that if you decide to go with Lasik MD, you need to pay for your eye exam every other year to get that lifetime warranty. But they don't have this requirement at the other clinics, which is good. Speaking of Lasik MD, I don't know too many people who went, but of the 2 people that I know of that went, they had to get their eyes corrected because the first time didn't go well. And the other person had to wear glasses until the second procedure. So right off the bat, I wasn't really confident in their skills after hearing that. But I haven't heard of anything bad from the other clinics about, or even anything about having to do a correction at the other clinics. So in summary, I really like that Bochner, they offer other alternatives as well, and they're willing to provide the latest technology. And I like how their surgeons are very confident that they're able to perform smile, because it is a very invasive technique and does require more skills than the traditional LASIK. Other clinics such as Bochner said they don't really trust smile. It's not proven to be better. But upon my own research online, I also find that it does cost a lot of money to implement this new procedure. And it does seem like, even though in Toronto, only Herzig is doing it, but in other parts of the world, a lot of places are already doing the smile procedure, and people are loving it, and there have been really nothing bad about it so far. So one of the reasons why other clinics don't want to do smile is because they don't have the skills to perform this as well. And if they can continue making money using the traditional LASIK procedure, then why not? And of all the things I read online and the research articles, which I don't really know if I really understand a lot of them, but there is a conclusion that in the end, patients are just generally more happy with smile, even though there isn't really a big difference. There's only maybe like a slight differences. So, I mean, I can say I did smile. I am super happy with it. I didn't really experience any dry eyes, and so far everything's been good. I don't have any side effects. There's no starburst or things while I'm driving at night. Everything just seems a lot clearer. I hope that this helps people out there who are still having a hard time making a decision. I can be pretty indecisive as well when it comes to these things, so I went back and forth a lot, but I think I'm pretty happy with the results. Obviously, it may not be for everyone, but I just really want to share my experiences for those out there who are kind of indecisive as well. So I hope you like this video, and if you have any questions or comments, just let me know in the comment section below. I would love to hear about it, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for dropping by. Bye.